Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Break the gate. How many times have we said that before? Breaking gates, breaking people, breaking things down. It seems like they're right, but still on the ground. How many times do you change things? How many times do you let them go? Well, that's a good question. Another question, how many answers do you have? You let people play along. You let things go along. Then what happens? Do you repent? Do you receive? Do you give in? Do you take notes? What do you do? Well, most of us just lay back and say, oh, it's not me, not in my house. You know, when you say that, you become a dictator. It's like a dictatorship. Everybody thinks that you're right and they're wrong. The only difference is, if you don't have a pulpit or a stadium or podium to talk on, nobody believes you. And they don't care. You know why? Because they've been doing it for so long. They've been laid back, relaxing, let things happen as they be happening. And as long as it's not in front of them, it's okay. See, that's the problem in America and anywhere else. If you're not a communist country, if you're a communist country, then everybody follows in line every day and wear the same clothes, eat the same food, do what they're supposed to do. Well, a lot of us not that way. And for those that are not that way, shouldn't be here. If we want to be that way, we should find us a country where we just say, oh, we'll just lay down and let them do what they want to do to us. See, that happens. But it happens in the family too. If you have a family member and you're so strong against what they believe, then there's a vision. There's structure. Without structure, there's no control of nothing in life. Nothing control in their life. Because everybody wants to believe they believe in something, or they'll fall for anything. Once a person turns a certain age, they believe they are accountable. Well, they're really accountable. If you sing a song a lot about it, does it make you accountable? Let's try it out. Down by the river where I first saw the light, then I saw the moon, it was so bright. Okay, well, short version. Does that make me a songwriter? No. Does it make me a song singer? No. It makes me somebody who's speaking words. See, and that's what happens when people speak words a lot and they don't do what they really want to do. See, everybody comes here, believe it or not, and they come for a purpose. Everybody comes here to learn from someone. Who? I don't know. I didn't cram that up yet. But there's not a person on this earth that didn't come to learn from somebody. You say, well, could it be my parents? Could be. For those who listen to them, if you listen to your parents, you might get a good understanding. Well, what if you don't have them? Then you still can get a good understanding because you don't have them. Then you have to go back and figure out what they were saying before. Full time passed you and you let it go by. You say, Earl, you a mess. No, I'm telling you the truth. There's so many people who want to know the truth, but scared of the truth. Because if they find out the truth, then they think it's a lie. And lie has always been the greatest of all. Because if you can lie to a person and keep it under his hat for years and years, you'll never worry about it. You tell the truth. The minute you tell the truth, people think you're lying. And that's never seemed to odd or never seemed to be agreeing with anyone. Like, well, he lied to me yesterday. Well, he lied to me before. Okay, what about the day before then? Well, he lied to me then too. Some of them why you still with him. I said he. Now remember, it can go the way I think about the people as we. We means that we all, if I'm saying he, she, is still the same. We're all in the same boat together because we all lie. And we all expect the most out of expectation is our own kinfolks. We don't care about the people on the side of the street. Oh, yes we do. No, we don't. We don't care if we live or die. Now we're not advocates going and say, well, we're gonna watch him die. No, but you might as well. You're not doing nothing. You know, money is a game that everybody plays, and everybody play with. They don't care how much money they got, as long as they can play with it. They don't care what they're doing with it, as long as they do something with it. Yeah. So we sit back and think about, well, what about tomorrow? What about next year? What about it? They're gonna come in whether you be here or not. They're still coming. It doesn't, the hardest thing about things, well, you want to live or not, it's hard to live and it's to die. You die, you're gone. You live, everybody wants a dollar. They want a dime. They want everything you got. Okay? The new generation is a generation that's sparing down to the limits. Their limits is where, how, and why. See, the other limit was shoot them, hit them, and die. Well, the new sunshine children today, by the time they're 40, okay, it'll be a new regime. We may have planes in the sky and no cars on the ground. Everybody flying planes. And pollution has just went up. Cost of living, cost of responsibility, of course, anything you do with a trait, it's gonna cost you. Anywhere you go with an attitude, it's gonna cost you. So why go anywhere? Why take your attitude somewhere that you know that everybody may have to go on hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. Forget the hoorah. What about the who-he's, who-she's? If everybody was to stop for 1 minute and say, guess what, I have no more kids. Guess what, the universe just dropped. If nobody having kids, I mean, there's no more to develop. Okay? Well, people have a short hold, a leap hold, a big hold, and they always find a way to do something different. So now we'll clone you up then. And every time we clone you up, remember, you get cloned, that means there's no feeling. Where is any feeling before? I don't know. All depends who you are. People always get the wrong concept that they have to be cloned and not to have a feeling. No, you can have parents with no feeling, and you become the same way. People had a phineas and lenient idea what happens to the child who's born. Well, nothing happened to him. He become his own. He become a child of himself to take responsibility. He just, you ever seen the picture when the baby wakes up and say, "Oh my goodness, what did I come out of? Did I come out of slow at home?" Once they come out of that womb, they be like, "Man, push me back in." Someone could say that. But then the world had just given him a fresh air to breathe for a moment. And that moment takes a lifetime to get it together. You say, well, how's that? Well, all depends on, once again, where you at. Do you live in a communist world, or do you live in peace? Well, what's different? It's a lot different. If you live in a communist world, you don't worry about nothing. You just come in the world and you just fall about it the suit. But if you live in a peace world, you want to become peace. That don't mean you're going to become peace. Okay? Virtual videos, virtual TVs, and virtual people. They're all virtual. They're all not there. Yeah, they're not there. I don't care how many times you think they're there, they're not there. So you can take Miss America, you can take Mr. America, and you can have a fantasy dream. That's what most people do. You get 150 people on the stage and tell them we want to select one. But one person out of 150 is that one. Sound like a dream to me? The young people of the world, if they understood, if they really understood how much power they have, they'd be slapping themselves in the face. Yeah, slapping themselves right in the face. You go to college to get knowledge, to get a degree, to come back and sit on your ass. How about that? Because it used to be you go to college to get knowledge and get a degree and get a job. Those days are played out. Because now, even though you want to have a degree, you don't know what you want. You don't know what you're majoring in. You have the faintest idea of what you major in, faintest idea of what you want to do. And before you know it, you're like, I'm going back to school. For what? If you've been in school for 8 years, you didn't learn nothing. What makes you think you learned something for? Well, Dominant Reason says a lot of things. Dominant Reason says each individual has responsibility to himself. Now get this, guys, because y'all somehow you don't get it. So let's try it again. Each individual that comes to this world have a choice and have a decision to make by themselves. You say, oh, how's that? They got to grow up. Yeah, they got to grow up. At the same time, as you're growing up, you're learning. I know no one not have learned growing up unless he was in a stale box in a cone. Okay? Even a cat that lays and with 20 other cats, well, he gonna learn something. He gonna learn to come on time and eat, or he gonna be late and then we starve there. Well, we as human beings, we have a tendency to, for years, lean on somebody's shoulder, cry on somebody's shoulder, and hope they're gonna take care of us. That's a falsehood, brothers and sisters. You depend on somebody to lean on. You depend on somebody to cry on. You depend on somebody to have a shoulder on. You just lock yourself up. Even your mates can't do that for you. Your mates can be there for you, but if you don't tell them what's wrong with you, or she, let's make sure you get it through, she or he, it ain't gonna work. Sometimes you come better just saying nothing. Just take your mouth and say, I'm gonna put a hood on it. That means close it up. And every now and then, if you open your mouth, I mean, you want somebody to say something, you want to say something to somebody that might mean something to you, not them. Because if you're talking, you doing them a favor. You're not benefiting yourself. Parents. I don't know when we're going to learn that who has power, the parents or the children. Who has authority, the children, the parents, or the superintendents, or everyone else who you surround yourself by. Because if you start giving your power away, guess what? You have none. Liberty has shot, and liberty is dead, and chivalry can hide the face, and the patriotic can do the same thing. There's no such thing. I'm a patriot. You're a patriot. When does the patriot start falling back and not listening to one person? When does that happen? Liberty or chivalry hide their face. Be dead of liberty and don't worry about chivalry. Because you don't chivalry yourself out. You said, well, I believe in one God. Okay, I ain't mad at you. Y'all met so many of them when you came over here, so you can have one, you can have 120, you can have 121. It's once again, holding my eyes up. It's the individual. Who will tell you to make a decision? It's the individual. It's not me telling you don't do it. It's the individual. Anything you do is not me saying, go down and get some gas, go down, your stomach need to be pumped, or it need to be rumped, or it need to be fed. The body itself, with the mind inside. The clock itself, with the mind inside. See, the human being forgets 1,000 times that he's in charge of himself. And if he forgets that, he falls upon a rock. And that rock is so fat, it lowers him to the ground, he don't even know how he got on the ground. Okay? All he's sitting there saying, wow, I could have done this, I could have done that, and then what happened? Well, all I could have done and didn't happen doesn't mean nothing. Okay? Doesn't mean a world of bricks. I could have been the moon. I could have been, yeah, you could have. But how many people gonna let you do that? I don't care if you went to Yale, I don't care if you went to Harvard. I don't care what university you went to. You know what you're doing? You're working on dead man time. Dead man time. Yeah, what's that? Well, you go to school, you get an education, but the education's already there. The words that have been written is already there. You can't plagiarize, measicide, or killicide, or even disaride. They call it plagiarism. Well, how is it plagiarism? Because somebody wrote before you did. Oh, so in other words, their lie can contain the mind. 2,000 years ago, what they were saying still rings today. Well, guess what? You just flipped in. You better go get a Star Trek uniform and get ready to go to the sky too. Because it doesn't make sense. Once again. So, what are we doing about it? I don't know. What are you doing about it? Are you teaching your children the right way? Are you teaching your children the wrong way? All I'm saying, if you teaching the wrong way now, what's going to happen next year? What do you come on next year when things start going crooked? When the world start going backwards? When the eagles start flying backwards? And Apollo 13, which probably now is 113, all the Apollos go up there in the sky and play ding and wing with the aliens. What are you going to do? You going to sit back and say, well, you know this happened before. Yeah, it happened before. What? Well, what? Why didn't you prevent it? It's like a butterfly, like bleeding, like soaking. If you know you got a stretch, you're not saying, oh, I'm gonna let you bleed. Then you can find a band-aid. So you saw the stuff coming way before now. Don't even try it. Don't. I wish somebody would say if we didn't know. I'd kick him in the butt. Right now. Kick him right in the butt. You know why? Everybody knows something. Everybody knows something. Everybody knows a little hope. Therefore, if you knew what was going on, somehow you could have prevented it. But no, you know what you say? It ain't in my backyard. I ain't worried about it. As a matter of fact, when it comes on my backyard, I want to go with motion, like a float on, saying, float on, float on. Excuse me. Where are we going to float on? Let's float on, float on. So, you don't need to float on. Float on is to remember you want to do something. You want to do something to keep from floating on. You want to keep your accountability, not just to two people. See, if we do accountability, and you say, well, I only got one friend, probably all you need. You get two friends, you a billionaire, but you bigger than 3 cats in the hall. You got to soak that billionaire. You got to make sure he's on time. You got to find out where he's at all times. You got to make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to do, and yada yada yada. You might as well call him a child. So one friend is a good thing. Now, associates. It's good for them to be amongst you, so you can find out different things and drive on. Because once the social find out something they don't want to find out, they're going on anyway. So your friendship had just went down the stack of the river and down the wind, going wee-hoo, wee-hoo. Oh, we'll see you on the next trip. Is a change coming? I don't know. Do we need a change? We definitely do. But that change should have come way before now. Okay? Whose fault is it? The universe? I don't think so. Whose fault is it? It's the people that live in the universe. Every man, every woman is responsible for something. If you see them, I ain't not responsible, then you're lying to yourself. The day you wake up, you're responsible for getting up in the morning, washing your teeth, brushing your teeth, washing your face, and washing your underarm and sit and serve. And after that, you got to make a decision. What decision? You make a decision when you want to put your clothes on and go to work. I make a decision to say, I'm putting my clothes on and I'm not working. Those decisions still belong to you. Because guess what? You're under the dictatorship that you don't have to worry about until you get one. Now you get one, they may be calling you. It's 5 o'clock, let's go this. It's 6 o'clock, let's go there. And your time never stops until they stop. Communists of the world. And let me just tell you guys one more time. I know you're gonna forget it. Time's gonna run. I won't do no until next month. But Father's Day is coming up. A lot of you guys need to realize what is Father's Day. And a lot of you guys are gonna become a new father. Now, when you put all that together, you're gonna come up with two things: love and hate. I'm saying it again. Love and hate. Because if you a rolling stone, I mean, you got somebody pregnant, you don't care about it. And vice versa. It doesn't have to be man. Remember, I'm talking about both parties. But if you are a man or woman that's willing to take care of that child, no matter how he got there or how he coming, but to raise him as you would to have him raised in a nice neighborhood, properly, and being proper. If you get that, then you're doing your job. But if you didn't do that, you'd be like everybody else. For all these years, I'm trying to do the best I can. No, you're not. You're not trying to. If you say you're doing the best you can, then you're lying. That's how it is. If you said I'm doing the best I can, you're lying. Because no one would have convened with you and the other person. But now they do. But that's why we have now kids everywhere. You have more kids on one side of the street and you can call them another. And guess what? They're all related. All are related. So like I said, once again, we come up with the same attitude that feeding my brother, am I my brother? Yes, you are. Can I take it? Yes, you can. As long as you don't try to take him over. In other words, me, just like me, you know, I did this, you need to do it too. I put this clothes on. No, that didn't happen. That's pushing them far away than you ever want to be. Every now and then you get an idiot and say, "Oh yeah, I'm following my brother. Oh yeah, I'm following my sister." To where? To the garbage can? To the toilet? Who are you following to? You don't even know. How do we stop it? How do we prevent it? You just stay out the way and watch everybody do their own thing. And someone will slip and fall, and then they figure out why they slip and fall. Until that time, you be like, "Oh, he was a good person." Oh, every time you go see him, "Oh, I haven't seen him because he's a good person." Well, she was a nice person. When last time seen her? Oh, about 3 years ago. When you sit in, "Oh, I don't know. She had to call me." You see what I'm saying? We are atrocious. When I say atrocious, trite, anything else, to get away with stuff we get away with. Instead of saying, I'm going to sit person now. No, I'm going to call now. Oh, we say, "Oh, you know, would call her, but you know, she might blow my head off." Oh well, might need it blowing off, but at least it's blowing them off in that place, and then you're not head to head. You follow? That's what I say. So, as my son would say, would further into do, redo, undo, do, you do. You take the time and you get on your knees, pray, and ask the good man upstairs which is the way to go, and he will lead you in the direction where you want to go. Because once again, y'all fail to realize, and they do, that we are an individual, and whatever we do on this earth, it belongs to us. It doesn't belong to nobody else. Whatever we stand for, that's what we stand for. Whatever we don't stand for, we don't stand for it. If we believe that the earth is round, who will tell us not? Christopher Columbus? The 4 stars in the sky? If you hadn't fell off it, yes, so therefore, I guess it's not round. Okay? Every time you stop and think for a moment, who's better in charge? The people in charge out there, the civilians, or us inside the military? You got two choices. You always have the ends. The ends. Two-way is always, to me, would be a better way in a war. People say, why that? Because first of all, you're gonna lose people. Well, I ain't never seen a war fall with TV upplay there that you didn't lose somebody. Your loved ones, your friend, your best friend, someone on your neighbor. So, but if you talk about it, and you talk to the prouder, he said the people who dig this, degrade, you might get somewhere. Because they're always watching you too, so you're like a buzzard. You could be, they could be building your 6 foot under. Yep. Tell me about the book. Yep. So everything is punky donkey. Till the next time. If you got a father, might need to start writing letters quick. Happy Father's Day. If it's a grandfather, he's still Happy Father's Day. Because he's still your father, part of the camaraderie of the mess that goes on. That's the way it rolls. Look at me and Sam. We've been looking. All of a sudden, the old top showed up because we knew it existed. And that's what happens to you. When you know what's right, you can stand up by yourself. When you know what's wrong, you fall by yourself because nobody helping you up, nobody pulling you up. Righteous means I can stand up and tell the truth and nobody's going to kick me down. But if I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I get kicked down every time. Kicked down, kicked around. I mean, that's not a happy thing. You're like, what happened to you? You know what happened to me? You was on stage 2 weeks ago. It's amazing what people see when you're not doing something. You know, that's just the way it is. So what's up, analyst? What you analyze for? Like the score. That score don't mean nothing. If you clean it. Well, now, let's see. How much today? How much in today? You draw from that.